Welcome
to our first episode of
Shucks,
where we share what's worth and what's not.
So Shucks is actually a short series where we'll debunk myths and common mistakes in real estate.
So recently, in today's market, currently the market condition is really very good, right? So everyone knows that the prices are going very high. And then I particularly remember this case study, this client that we met recently. Her name is Mrs. Chua. Recently, we met her for the second time. Yeah. So last year, we actually met up with her. She was quite reluctant to sell because she was having negative sale. So by saying that negative sale, meaning to say when they sell their house, right, they will not have any cash proceeds, or instead they may need to top up.
The CPF portion is a negative. Basically, after all the calculation, instead of you getting a positive figure, you get a negative figure.
So that's the reason why she was quite reluctant to sell back then, because after she sold the place, she might not have enough cash to move on to her new house. Recently, because the prices is really very high now, so we thought of her. So we actually call her up and say, why not you can consider start selling? And then the first question she asked is actually,
the current market, I sell high but I buy high also. Is it still worth it? We did a calculation for her, so maybe we can share with you guys also. So last year, her house is actually worth 450,000. So she has a balance loan of 300,000. Her CPF plus accrued interest use is actually 200,000. So after you minus off everything, you actually get a negative sale of 50,000. Because of the negative sale, only 150,000 will return back into her CPF. So at that point of time, she also saw a bigger house, because she wants to find a bigger house. So the bigger house at that point of time was 590,000, and after the 75% bank loan and a down payment of 5% cash and 20% CPF, her CPF is left with 32,000. So this 32,000 and her monthly installment of 1,008, right? This 32,000 can only last her for 17 months.
so this 1,008 monthly installment is at that point of time. But now her house is actually worth 500,000 with a break even of 200,000 back to her CPF actually. So her new house that she's looking at, right, increases in price. Now it's at 650,000. So after setting aside a 5% cash of 32,500 and 20% CPF of 130,000, her balance CPF, she's still left with 70,000. So with the monthly installment of 2,000 now, it will last her longer for 35 months. So for Mrs. Chua case, it's actually very worth it for her to move on to her purchase.
So for Mrs. Chua, it's actually profitable for her because she break even and she can move on to the next house with more comfort. So I think for the current market nowadays, it's actually very profitable for resale owners and second-time owners because it's a chance for you to cash out or break even, and so it will be easier for you to move on to your next house.
Yeah, especially those really bought at a high back then. So this is really a good chance. Of course, this is a case-to-case basis depending on individual finances and situation.
So if you want to find out whether your situation applies, do give us a call, and we hope you like our first episode of Shucks.
Any other topics that you would like us to cover, please PM us. We would love to share with you more. So I'm Cynthia.
And I'm Celine from HomeGen, bringing you dream homes for many generations to come.